it's just fucking going. It went to 20,843.
Holy shit.
It's currently at 20,630.
Holy shit, Jay.
Yeah, we going.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host, Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. You know what I wish? I wish we had a second show, like where it's just what we talk about prior to starting the show. Because that is some good stuff. I'm still laughing from what you were saying, in the pre-show stuff.
Yeah. That's some of our we always say there should be a cutting room floor, like the basement tapes of
we still have it all,
what is going on through like in pre-show planning. It's definitely it's no holds barred pretty much.
It's not for the faint of heart.
we clean it up when we get to the air. I feel like, don't you?
100%. Yeah, it's much more pleasant. But so how things going your end, man?
Good. Everything is good. We are celebrating this morning.
We are celebrating. It
is Wednesday, December 16th. Bitcoin is crushing all-time highs. So it is a party up in here. So we have the current price of Bitcoin, according to CoinGecko, right at this very moment, $20,502.24, up 6.1% in the past 24 hours. What say you?
I really feel like, I think we had a show maybe last week.
Are you euphoric now?
I'm not euphoric, but I do believe that we have busted through. Like, this is an all-time high for me. Like, we hit all-time high.
It is. This is like real all-time.
Exactly.
High.
That's what I'm trying to say. This is a real all-time high. Now it crushed through that resistance with authority this morning. Like, it was playing with its balls. Like, I was up at about 7:30. It was at 19.8, 19.7. I'm like, it's happening. It's gonna happen. And sure enough, I blinked an eye and it was at like 20,600. I'm like, oh, this is a real all-time high now. So I think a couple of weeks ago we were toying around with it, but this, to me, I really feel like we've actually busted through all-time high now, and it's fucking go time.
It's definitely go time. We saw up to what, 20,800 this morning?
Yeah, like what
you said on Coinbase?
Yeah, I have just over 20,800 on Coinbase.
That is fully horned.
Yeah, top tier horned levels.
Top tier horned levels of the likes that we've never seen before. So we've got Bitcoin at 20,500 currently. Ethereum over $600 at $616.67. XRP up to 50 cents. That's up 11%. We've got Litecoin at 86 cents. Why is anyone still buying Litecoin? Bitcoin Cash $2.99. Chainlink $13.01. Cardano 16 cents. Polkadot $5.24. And Binance rounding out the top 10 at $29.94. Everything going up.
That's what we want to see.
Except strong.io.
I believe even that's up.
It is not.
It must be to the dollar. It's flat to Ethereum.
I can assure you it is not.
That's a shame. So yeah, it's. I mean, what are we gonna? What's happening now? Where's it gonna go? We're in real no man's land here.
Yeah, it is price discovery time, I think. I don't know. Are you nervous up here, or are you just like,
no,
bring it on?
No, I don't think Yeah, I mean, I think just looking at the chart.
Well, because you're not leveraged at all.
No, exactly.
So
no leverage.
If you're not leveraged, you're feeling real good.
Yeah,
there's honestly, nothing to be nervous about.
And honestly, if I was in a trade with leverage, I don't think I would stop yet. I think that's a initial impulse. There's probably some follow through that's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to stop, but there's going to be. I think there's more upside to be had here in the short term. I'd wait for another impulse, maybe two, before I sold my position. If I was leveraged.
Interesting. So, but it is indeed a party over here. And we are rocking it with the new Bitcoin all-time highs. Congratulations to everybody who has hung on through the, last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, you guys deserve all of it. And to anybody that's new, I still think it's early. I mean, it's still
it's definitely early.
Like, this thing is not stopping. It's just not. Like, it's not stopping. There's going to and look, that doesn't mean that it's going to go straight to 100K. It doesn't mean that it's going to be tomorrow or next week or next year. But you're early in the ball game, Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
I would agree wholeheartedly.
So I would say if you are not in a position that you are holding a ton and basking in the glory of what is 20,000, just keep grinding. You'll get there. Yeah, and you have more upside than downside, I think. Maybe, like I said, not in the just immediate future, but long term. I mean, we're talking 10 years here, right?
Yeah. So I guess the question is, are we ever
that was just a way for me to feel better about myself, by the way.
Are we ever going to see Bitcoin below 10K again? Like we talk about the 10K memes.
Whew, I don't know. I saw you tweet that the other day, and this is the first time I've ever even gotten close to believing you. I don't know.
It's the first time I believed myself when I tweeted.
You're so far away from 10K. However, we said that last time we were at these levels, and we got all the way down to 3.
We went from 20K to $3,200 or whatever it was, or maybe even.
So what's different this time?
Well, I'll tell you what.
If this time is indeed different, like what makes it different?
I guess it's the stops along the way. So we have
this. By the way, buy Chambers' new children's book called "The Stops Along the Way," hitting stores this week.
We have, like, I'm just looking at the chart here. So we have printed so many. We were talking about that last show. Even at between say 17 and 19K, we printed so many candles in that range that it's a good amount of resistance. But even if we fall below that, there is resistance at 13.8. That's pretty safe. And even if we fall below that,
we said all this last time though.
No, but we didn't print. So we have all of the candles that we printed since the last time. Also, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at 10K, I mean, we have back in June to October of 2019. We have January to March of 2020. Then we have May to August 2020. And then the floor raises a little bit from there to about 11, 12K. And yeah, I mean, there's so many groupings of buy levels of buys at 10 to 12K. I mean, I just can't see it going down below that, and going back to 2018, 2017.
Look, I've always made fun of those tweets.
I know.
Whether it's yours or anyone else's.
Right.
This is the first time, I don't even think would have said this in 2017. Like I would have made fun of the tweets then also. This time feels like it might be 10K might be a thing of the past.
Yeah, like it might be support.
Yeah, but well, I mean, there's also a very the problem is if you ever get there, 10K is such a psychological number, like a psychological resistance support number. I feel like if you broke it, you break it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe if it ever gets even close to there, it might break it. You know, but I don't know. I think. Look, okay, I'm not going to say it's safe, but it's as close to safe as you can get.
Yeah, it's looking safer every day.
Right. I mean, I thought, like, it's just crazy to see how fast the dips have gotten bought. And, like, there's been a couple times in the last couple weeks where, I think we've gotten to like 16.5 as like the lowest, but I'm like, all right, here we go. Gonna see 12, gonna see 13, and they just get scooped up in hours and hours. And I think that happened in 2017, right? And I think what happened was most of the people in 2017 were retail buyers, right? Meaning you and I and Joe Schmoes and all this stuff, right? Where eventually you ran out of capital to buy dips, and the dips were not they weren't sustained. Like there was no more money to buy dips, right? And this time it feels like we're seeing companies come in and scoop up dips on their balance sheet and raise debt for dips. Like, right. By the way, check out my new website, debtfordips.com. I'll be raising money to buy $400 million of Bitcoin. But still, that's what it was. It was MicroStrategy that. It was,
but also, what's his name?
Peter.
Peter came out the other day.
You had a really nice interaction with
I did.
Peter. I don't know why you like busting people's chops like that. Peter's been nothing but nice to us.
But honestly, I wasn't even busting his chops. I wasn't even being like my jerky self. I honestly thought it was bad form, the tweet he put out.
Well, I mean, it's funny because we literally had talked about it that day as far as how I thought it was bad for MicroStrategy to do that. And
I'm not even saying it's bad for Peter to do that. You do that. You do you, guy. But when you tweet it, like he tweeted out what he had done. And, I think a couple of responses down, he tweeted it wasn't financial advice, which is fine. But as much as you say this isn't financial advice, when you have a following of, tens of thousands of people, I don't know how many he has following him, but say he has 50,000.
I think he's got close to 100.
Right. So, I don't care how many times you say this isn't financial advice. There are going to be some dummies out there that try to copy what you're doing or maybe take that as financial advice. So you kind of have to know that in the back of your head and say, you know what, like, am I going to fuck some people over here if I put this tweet out? Like, luckily I don't have that issue. But with great power comes great responsibility. And I don't know. I just think when you tweet stuff out like that, there are going to be some people, especially with a following that big, there are going to be some people that are going to take that advice, or not, and not even that it's advice. They're just going to copy what you did, and you can really get some people in trouble that way. So that was just my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I kind of think the same. I kind of had the same opinion on MicroStrategy, but once he said it's not financial advice, all bets are off.
Yeah. Still.
I mean, we go into every show saying that, right?
No, I think we do say it is financial advice.
Oh, actually, our show is financial advice, and our only advice is not to get wrecked.
Yeah, right? Don't get wrecked. That's good financial advice.
Right. But this is part of not getting wrecked, right?
Yeah. So maybe we can negate any sort of wreckness that those people may have. So hopefully they listen to us too.
Yeah, honestly, he's probably going to end up way on top.
Oh, 100%. I don't necessarily think it's a bad move. And he was probably really smart the way he did it. You know what I mean? Yep. But I just, in my mind, I'm like, there's going to be some stupid people that don't do it the smart way. They're going to over leverage themselves and they're going to fuck themselves over somehow.
Yeah, I just bought a house and now I have to give it up.
really.
And I still don't have any Bitcoin. This is the fucking worst.
The house that Bitcoin broke.
By the way, check out my best-selling book, The House That Bitcoin Broke, coming to bookstores near you. We've got a lot of new ideas here today. We've got your children's book, The Stops Along the Way.
Stops Along the Way.
I mean, it's got potential.
That does sound like a book I read my kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like, the places you'll go. You know?
That's what it is. That's 100% what it is. I'm like, I've read that book.
Yep. And we've got debtfordips.com and
debtfordips.com. That's fucking great. That's
and the hashtag or the House That Bitcoin Broke, which is my book.
We're on fire today.
And we're just getting started. But before we go any further, let's get to the news. Chamber, what do we got for news?
I got some news for you, buddy.
I mean, let's start with the lead.
Yeah,
right?
let's start. Let's not bury it. Bitcoin. This is fresh news. This is we when we were looking for news articles this morning, we weren't sure if we'd find one on Bitcoin breaking 20K, but when I go on the blockcrypto.com, I'm never disappointed. Sure enough, at 8:47 a.m. and it's currently 9:51 right now. 8:47 a.m. Mike McSweeney, the Sween dog.
Sween dog.
Puts out a great article here. Not too long, but it gives us what we need. Bitcoin's price has surged above $20,000. The price of the biggest cryptocurrency by market capitalization jumped above $20,000 per Bitcoin on Wednesday. And at press time, it's trading hands above 20,100 on Coinbase. We already talked about, I think I got up to about 20,800. Hands above.
What is that even?
I don't know.
How is that a measurement?
We're going to have to ask Michael McSween about that one. The Sween dog's got some real measurement issues here.
I mean, I feel just like it's going to vary a lot. Like, are we talking Trump-size hands?
Right.
Are we talking, like how big is a hand?
Right. Hands above 20,100. Per TradingView, prices on that market hit as high as 20,420 during that surge. The development saw Bitcoin break above its previous all-time high, which took place at the start of December, as we mentioned. So, again, just a true, in my opinion, a real all-time high. Yeah, we technically got a technical all-time high a couple of weeks ago. In my opinion, this is a true all-time high. So, big news for Bitcoin.
Large, I mean, very huge.
Huge.
It's huge. All right. So we've got, we're just making a Trump joke. Let's go right into the Putin news. The Block Crypto, Sonia Moore, wrote this article. Vladimir Putin signs order requiring Russian public officials to disclose their crypto holdings. Interesting. Russian public officials now will be required to declare their cryptocurrency holdings, according to a new order President Vladimir Putin signed on Thursday. According to the document, any public official or individual who wants to work in government must disclose their digital assets as well as those of their spouse and children.
Except if your name is Vladimir Putin.
They have until June 30th, 2021 to declare the types of quantities of each of those held assets. Details of the presidential order were reported by CoinDesk. The country's Ministry of Finance recently proposed a series of amendments on digital assets that would result in fines for public officials if they fail to declare the annual digital currency transactions above 600,000 rubles, as reported by Russian news outlet RBK. However, the Russian parliament, the State Duma, relaxed these rules slightly in November, saying the failure to declare crypto holdings on time will incur a fine of $50,000. If holdings are not reported at all, a fine of 10% of the sum of all carried out transactions will be imposed. So, what do you think about that?
I love Putin. Big fan. I'm not even joking. I'm a big fan of Russian history. I don't know have you ever looked into like Russian history before?
I mean, not in any sort of meaningful way.
Well, because of like, obviously the Cold War and all that stuff, back in the, 60s, 70s, 80s, to get information from Russia was obviously impossible. And after the wall came down and the USSR kind of split, more and more kind of you could get information from kind of like Russian history. And I've always been impressed with Vladimir Putin as a world leader. Not that he's a great world leader. He's kind of crazy. But do you know how like he's been around for so long?
No, I was just thinking that. Why, like he's been around forever.
Forever, right? So he was ex-KGB during the Gorbachev years. I don't know if you're familiar with KGB. Like, of course, they're intense. So throughout the
KGB will wait for no one.
That's 100% right. So he's ex-KGB. He became the prime minister of Russia, I think in the late 90s. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And in Russia at the time, I think you could only do 2 4-year terms as prime minister. So kind of similar to, the U.S. In Canada, it's a little bit different. You can actually be prime minister for, I guess, as long as you want, until people vote you out. But I think he could do 2 4-term, prime minister runs. So at the end of his second term, and obviously he's a strong arm within the government of Russia. He pushed through legislation that created a new position within the Russian government called the president. So there was only prime minister before, and he was like, "Oh, let's just make a president role," which had no limit on how long you could be president. And at the end of his 8th year of prime minister, they just voted him in as president, and now he's above prime minister now. And with no end date in sight.
That's just fantastic.
That's a power motherfucking move.
I feel like you would do something like that.
Oh, I mean the guys, and that's why I like my dictators with a little bit with some brains behind them. You know what I mean? That's why I never fell in love with Trump. He had the aspirations of dictatorship, but didn't have the follow through or the resourcefulness, and it's a damn shame.
Yeah, I mean, look, you would have loved him if he was a dictator, wouldn't you?
I would have. Did you? Yeah, you just did Putin, right?
Yeah, big dictator guy over here.
I'll do the next news story. I have this is big stuff. This one's for crypto. And the current U.S. President Donald Trump is said to be weighing a pardon for Ross Ulbricht, founder of the now defunct dark web marketplace Silk Road, who is serving a life sentence, which is a fucking goddamn shame. According to a report from the Daily Beast on Tuesday, the White House Counsel Office has been reviewing the documents related to Ulbricht's case, citing 3 people with knowledge of the matter. Sorry, just closed on me here. The report said Trump was informed of the case recently, as well as pleas from Ulbricht's allies. So obviously we've seen that a lot on Twitter about, people just, if you're going to get a hold of Donald, it's going to be on Twitter. So people just adding him, tell him to free Ross, all that fun stuff. Based on 2 of the 3 people familiar with the discussions, the report added that Trump, quote, has at times privately expressed some sympathy for Ulbricht's situation. As such, Trump has been considering Ulbricht, among others, for the next round of commutations and pardons prior to the inauguration of his 2020 presidential election opponent, Joe Biden. Ulbricht operated the Silk Road dark web marketplace under the alias DPR, or Dread Pirate Roberts. That's cool. From 2000. You
didn't know that one?
I knew it was DPR, but I didn't know it was Dread Private Roberts. That's pretty cool. From 2011 to 2013, the site once a billion-dollar business used for selling drugs and weapons, was shut down by Federal Bureau of Investigation following the arrest of Ulbricht in late 2013. In 2015, he was sentenced to serving a double life sentence without the possibility of parole. It's unclear if or when the Trump administration will make a decision on Ulbricht's case. The Daily Beast said Ulbricht has gained support from influential figures within Trump's political and social circle. So, yeah, that would be.
He's running out of time.
I mean, he's got a couple of weeks left, but I mean, these things can happen pretty quickly, right? And the more news articles that pop up, and it's he's a news junkie. Trump is. So if he sees it more, kind of out in the ether, maybe he'll tweet it out. In the middle of the night, or at 4 a.m. when he's taking his morning shit, that he's gonna pardon him, and CT will be relieved. I tweeted out the other day. I said CT has been loyal to Trump. It's time for Trump to be loyal to CT and release Ross. So
the way you said it was better on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
DT.
That's right. DT.
Yeah.
DT needs to be loyal to CT.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's it's a must, right? Like, it's gotta happen sometime. It's pretty, I would say, egregious that he has that many life sentences on his, like, as a punishment here. It needs to happen. So we need to get DT on the line.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a direct line of communication to him, unfortunately.
I know a guy.
You know a guy. All right.
Yeah, I know a guy. All right. So we've got, what else do we got here? One more news story?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, we do. So next one here, Kraken is assembling a team to integrate Bitcoin's Lightning Network to its exchange. Kraken has announced that it is putting together a team that will focus on integrating the Lightning Network into the exchange. The Lightning Network is meant to provide an accessible way for users to quickly and reliably engage in off-chain payments by adding another transaction layer above the Bitcoin blockchain. Users can create payment channels on this layer between parties. Bitcoin's popularity can cause network congestion and high transaction fees, particularly during bull markets, according to Kraken Bitcoin strategist Pierre Rochard. Lightning technology solves this problem by using the Bitcoin blockchain more efficiently. According to Rochard, the dedicated Lightning team will go through several iterations to integrate the Lightning Network within Kraken. In the first iteration, the team will focus on withdrawals. That would be nice. It's probably much quicker and less expensive withdrawals. By 2021, the team will launch the ability to withdraw using the Lightning Network instantly and for a lower fee. Hey, look at that. An iteration for making deposits more efficiently will follow, and after this, the team will evaluate user feedback and decide what else to prioritize, Richard said. He goes on to say, we are continuously investing in improving the technology, whether in-house or within the wider ecosystem. Ultimately, this is about Kraken's mission to accelerate Bitcoin adoption. We want to work with other exchanges to advance this technology and grow the network. What are your thoughts? Have you ever used Lightning Network? I tried to once and I got very confused and didn't end up doing it.
We must be close to all-time high if we're talking about Lightning Network, is all I'm saying. It's as far as I know about the Lightning Network, you have to kind of put Bitcoin in your Lightning wallet and then create, like you had mentioned, like create payment channels within it. I don't know exactly how it works, but I could see maybe an exchange it being a little bit more feasible as opposed to just doing Lightning wallets on your own, because the exchange, I don't know if the exchange can create those payment channels for you once you load up your wallet on the exchange. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So maybe the exchange will make Lightning easier to use, but 100% I agree with you that if just trying to do it on your own was not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly at this point why I couldn't, why I never was able to.
It wasn't intuitive.
Yeah, well, I forget. There was a lightning solution that was supposed to make it easier that I tried to use, and I cannot remember the name of it at this point. It's been probably 2 years since this.
I was looking at some old sites that I had in my bookmarks. There was one called Tip in Me.
I remember that one.
I think that was lightning, and I just thought it was hilarious that it was called Tip in Me. I felt like Bitcoin was putting its tip in me, just the tip, you know. But I remember that one being one. I mean, the idea is good. We just got to figure out a way to make it user friendly, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, interesting. So that is going to do it for us for the news. What do we got next, Chamber?
Well, I was we were actually contacted by a project a couple weeks ago. The name of the project is called HodlGod, and they're like an NFT / game, like an actual video game that you can. It's like, I don't know. It's like on the blockchain. You can buy NFTs to increase your your player's ability and that kind of thing. And we were just kind of fooling around with it a little bit prior to the show, and we're pretty impressed actually. I didn't realize we were there as far as blockchain games.
Well, every blockchain game I've ever seen is kind of crappy on it, to be honest. Right?
Very crappy.
First of all, you go to this website and it's HodlGod.com, and there's a trailer on here that we watched of what the game is, and it's a legit game. It looks like you are playing a game on your console or your PC, like you would any of those kind of open world games. So it looks pretty awesome as far as what the actual graphics are, because I've seen some blockchain games where it's pretty crappy. So we were super impressed when we were looking at this, and then once we started looking around at it, now it makes sense. So they're using Wax.io for the NFT piece, correct?
They were funded by Wax to get the project off the ground too.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And we all know Wax really started back in the day when Wax first came out. They were all about blockchain video games, and
that's how they started. But so it's interesting. So I think part of this is the gaming engine that they're using, right? So we've seen some crappy versions of games out there. They're using what's called the Unreal Engine, and it's, I think, proprietary to HodlGod, correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so your earnings on this game are based on your skill, which is nice. So the better you are at the game, the more you will earn on the game as far as your NFTs and your collection and all that kind of stuff. It's bringing together the NFT collectible community and the gaming community, which is pretty cool idea, right? So we see all the time. I think there's a big crossover between NFTs and gaming, right? If you've ever played something like Madden or FIFA, I mean, those games that you can build your own teams with player packs and all that kind of stuff, I mean, the gaming community is already entrenched in this big time. Right. First of all, people spend shit tons of money on FIFA, their FIFA team and their Madden Ultimate Team and things like that. So, I mean, the gaming community is already entrenched in this stuff. So, bringing it together with this, the NFT side is a pretty cool idea, I think.
Well, like we mentioned, just Wax starting with video games, and then Wax really pivoted to NFTs, I'd say, in the last year or so, maybe a little bit more than that. And now with this HodlGod, it seems to be a combination of the two. You have the NFTs that you can get armor, you can get weapons for your player on the blockchain video game. So it's very cool. The packs are actually going live on the 21st of December. So what's that? Next Monday?
Yes, I think that is Monday.
So next Monday, December 21st, they're having their live sale. You can go to HodlGod.com. That's HODLGOD.com. And yeah, I don't know if you want to pick up some packs, if you want to, like what I like to do with these NFTs, I like to buy NFTs and then sell them again. I like to sell them. If it's wax based, just for anybody listening or anybody that cares, if you do have NFTs and you want to sell them, I go to Atomic Assets, and it's a wax based kind of open market. I think it has the most people on there. So anytime I like to get into these NFTs and usually just flip them right away. Because I'm not good at I don't have enough attention span to kind of collect these and trying to gather them. So, but check out atomicassets.io or atomichub.io, and they're pretty good. You might be able to pick some up if you happen to miss any of these pack orders. They do sell out fairly quickly, and if you're looking to top up, you can go to atomichub.io and you can pick up some ones for sale there on the open market. So I like wax. I feel like I use OpenSea for Ethereum. I don't know. Have you ever used OpenSea before for Ethereum NFTs?
No, I haven't.
So it's pretty good. I honestly find the wax ecosystem a little more user friendly, to be honest. So I like it when NFTs show up for wax. It's just easier to use, in my opinion. Not that OpenSea's for Ethereum is not too awful, but it's just, I think, a little bit more user friendly on wax.
For sure. And then these packs for this specific game, HodlGod, there's going to be two different types of packs offered that you can buy, which is a starter pack and the immortal pack. And the packs will include armors and weapons that'll help you play and survive within the game. So, like I said, the game looks pretty cool, actually. So,
I'm definitely going to try this one out.
Dude, I think this game, their gaming engine is pretty sweet compared to what I've seen other blockchain stuff.
Yeah, this could be the first big step in that mix of NFTs and blockchain video games. So super excited.
Yeah, so they also have if you want to check them out, they have a Telegram group which is t.me/onesus ONESSUS. There's currently almost 500 members in there now, and they also have a Twitter account, which is, I think, just at HodlGod, correct?
Yeah, it is at HodlGod. I'll have it in the description as well. I'll have a link to the website. I'll have a link to their Telegram and their Twitter as well.
There's also a Discord. It doesn't look like the Discord has as many people in it, so your probably best bet is Twitter and Telegram. But pretty cool. The story of the game looks cool. The graphics are awesome. So if you're a gamer, I would say check it out. Cool.
I like it.
Now what do we got? We got one more segment here, correct? And it's my favorite segment of all time. It is the one where I put you on blast and we defend that tweet.
The defense is not back, Mo.
Hey, just get our energy going at the defensive end. Keep playing defense.
All right, so Chamber, I love doing this because it just recaps your antics for the week of, when we have nothing really else fun to do. I just like to recap your antics from the week in what is your tweet form, right? So this one was from this morning. I'm going to read this in a Game of Thrones type fashion. There's really not much to defend here, but it was from this morning before the all-time high.
Before the all-time high, that is correct. That is correct.
8:25 a.m. on 12/16. One tweet, one retweet, one quote tweet, and 2 likes. I believe the quote tweet was from yourself.
Yeah, I did.
It states,
I vow that you shall always have place by my hearth, and meat and mead at my table, and pledge to ask no service of you that might bring you into dishonor. I swear it by the old gods and the new. Arise to 20K Bitcoin.
That's true. And I prayed to the old gods and the new, and they responded in kind. We blasted through 20K. I was I had almost a religious experience as I'm like.
I thought you were gonna say boner. But.
Wow, that's what I normally call my boner. But I'm like, it worked. I prayed. I'm like, which one was it? Was it the new gods or the old gods? But I'll just pray to both of them again next time I need something. So
yeah, you pray to both. So.
Yeah.
By the way, I need a voiceover job. That was pretty good.
100%.
I think I killed my throat though, so but that's okay. Totally worth it. This one comes from yesterday at 7:27 p.m. I always like to note the number of likes, retweets, comments that you have.
So
because
embarrassing.
Like you put so much work into your Twitter and you get nothing.
No love. I honestly feel
this has 3 likes.
I honestly feel most of I have over 3,000 followers, which is not a ton, but not nothing. But I feel 2,900 of them have me on mute. That's probably an accurate number.
So do you want to know? I mean, at 3,000 followers, the amount of likes you got on this tweet was 1% of 1% of your followers.
So embarrassing.
Yes, 0.001% of your followers liked this tweet. And I'm going to chalk this one up to the fact that most of your followers are hopefully younger and don't know what either of these things are. Phenomenon and Michael are the greatest back-to-back movies by any actor. Few know this. Hashtag Scientology. Of course, you're referring to the movies Phenomenon and Michael by John Travolta. Michael is the one in which he is an angel. And I don't really remember Phenomenon. I just remember that being like coming out next to like Powder.
Right. It was a very similar movie where they had like unexplainable, superpowers essentially, but like tame. Not he wasn't flying.
Now Travolta's playing Santa on commercials.
I love it. I love Travolta.
So defend these. I mean,
I think the tweet honestly came from we were listening to Spotify or something, and I'm trying to educate my daughter in music, so I basically tell her to pick a decade, and then we'll just listen to the hits of that decade, so she has a good appreciation for the different decades. So we're listening to 90s music yesterday, and it was "Change the World" by Clapton. I don't know if you remember this song.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this was from the movie Phenomenon. And then I started laughing. And I'm like, remember Phenomenon? And then he came out with Michael right away, like immediately after. And my wife and I just laughed about just how funny the hilarity of just those two movies. Most of my tweets are just to make my wife laugh. So yeah, just thinking about.
I feel like your tweet to wife laugh ratio is pretty poor.
It is. She's a tough nut to crack.
My parents used to have the Michael soundtrack, and I used to listen to that over and over when I was a kid because they had it in the car. It's actually a pretty good soundtrack.
What was a hit song off of that album?
Oh, the Spirit in the Sky one.
Oh, great song.
Yeah, that's like the song from Michael.
Okay, see, yeah. That's why I said when I heard "Change the World" by Eric Clapton, I'm like, that's from Phenomenon. But that's funny. Our youths are hilarious. So
yes,
that's why I tweeted that out.
Okay, on to the next here. I didn't. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about this yet, but I thought it was important to mention because you historically have 0 friends. This comes from 12:10 at 5:39 p.m. One quote tweet, probably from yourself. 11 likes. 11 likes.
Huge number.
Huge number of likes. I met my first CT friend in real life today. Big shout out to Wannabe Trading for being a gracious host. A+ fella. I still haven't met Bunchu Betts yet. Perhaps in 2021.
I met Crypto Canada at Wannabe Trading on Twitter. He actually reached out to me shortly. Like us Canadian CT people, we kind of all know each other.
All five of you.
Yeah, 7. I was gonna say, but yeah. When he found out what happened back in Thanksgiving in Canada, when my pot plants got robbed, he reached out right away and he said, "Well, we'll get together when his crop was done curing and that, because we would help each other. He would help me out more than I helped him out. But throughout our growing process over the spring and summer, we were kind of going back and forth, DMing each other, saying, hey, here's where I'm at. What are you growing? Like, techniques and that kind of thing. So when he saw that, my perfectly manicured buds were stolen, he felt bad. So he invited me over for a little session. And I drove, believe it or not, like 2.5, maybe not 2.5 hours, over 2 hours to get to his house. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be murdered because these are still online people. And I'm like, well, I'm going to I haven't met anybody new in the last 9 months. So I feel like I should probably see somebody. So I took a drive out there. He was the nicest guy. And the weirdest part, is he listens to the show.
Okay.
So he knows.
So he knew a lot about you.
He knew like a lot about me, and it was a strange feeling, but just the nicest guy. He made me coffee right away. We smoked a couple of doobs, smoked a couple of cigarettes, and chit chatted about crypto and. Just bags and it was as pleasant as it could have been, and I was super happy to meet him. Super great guy, 10 out of 10. So yeah, it was good for me to get out of my bubble, and it was right before, because shit got locked down this week in our neck of the woods. So I don't think I could have gone to visit any other time. So.
Interesting. Well, that sounds like a fantastic time. So shout out to @WannabeTrading. I'm glad you're out there making friends. Dude, I'm telling you, like, it's the podcast that we listen to all the time religiously. Like, you feel like you know the hosts. Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was thinking about it. I'm like,
he's
because I said something about I forget what I said, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I heard." I'm like, "Oh yeah, like like you're trying to tell your stories, and you're like, no, I fucking know that."
You're like, I fucking know that. You found a dead guy on a beach. Get over it. Jesus Christ, this
bring
guy.
some new shit.
God, you need some new material.
Yeah, but super super nice guy.
All right, a couple more here. I have too many. I don't think I can even get to them all.
Yes.
This one, I just wanted to block you. I don't know why. After I read this tweet, I just wanted to block you. This comes from 12/8, 5:07 p.m. 40 years ago today, I left my last vessel. A few short years after that, I found my current incarnation. I wonder what my next life will bring. #John Lennon. So you are just tweeting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on December 8th that you are the reincarnation of John Lennon. I literally just swear, I fucking hate this guy, and I just almost blocked you. Discuss.
So, again, this one, I've been saying that for years, that I'm the reincarnation of John Lennon.
But, like, why? You don't have... Why?
To upset my wife. She hates two things. Anytime I talk shit about the Beatles. So anytime I talk about the conspiracy that Paul McCartney died back in the 60s and was replaced to continue the band, she absolutely hates that. And then anytime I say I'm the reincarnation of John Lennon, she absolutely hates that. So it's mostly just to irritate her. But I think it's funny to think I'm the reincarnation. John Lennon's my favorite of the Beatles. And I definitely... Personality-wise, I feel we're very similar. So I do feel a kindred spirit connection with John Lennon.
Fantastic. Fantastic. This one got 1 like. Also from 12/8. Not your best day. You got 2 likes on the John Lennon. You got 1 like on this one. I think I'm revamping this segment to... I'm only gonna pick
the lowest
low liked tweets, and make you defend those, and we're gonna call it Like It or Leave It.
Yeah.
And we're gonna basically make you vote on would you tweet it again today, knowing that if you knew you were only gonna get one like. Like,
The
because
answer
I feel like a lot
is
of this,
always yes.
No, I feel like a lot of these, you aim for likes. You want the likes.
I do aim for likes. You're exactly
so like
right.
if you feel it feels bad when you tweet something out and you get one like.
I just assume everybody has me on mute, so it's not being rejected by the people. They're just not actually seeing my gold tweets.
No, but that means you've been rejected by the people.
That's a good point.
This one. Are there gender reveal videos of dads losing it because it's a girl?
I think that would be funny to watch. I haven't seen those. I see a lot of gender reveal videos going wrong, that kind of thing. And most of the ones I see are boys. I don't know if you see that as well. But the videos that I see, not all gender reveal parties are boys, but I'm saying all the videos I see are boys, and then the dad is excited. I want to see videos of the dads freaking the fuck out because they got a girl. I think that would be very funny to watch.
Another one from 12/8. You were on fire this day. At 10:07 a.m., a short Christmas story. This is the conversation between you and I think I know who the person is that you're tweeting, but I'm not, or that you're texting.
I forget who it was.
But it's the Mexican wrestling conversation.
Yep, I know who it was.
I kind of thought that was funny. I will say I don't think Mexican wrestling is an offensive term.
So my wife, it's my wife that texted me that, and she's I call her a super lib. So she's always worried about offending people, and when you think of libs, think of my wife. So she's very sensitive and like worried about offending people. I'm like, you can 100% say Mexican wrestling, but I did find the right term for it, and I forget what it is. It's like it's not nacho. It's
lucha libre.
What is it?
Lucha
libre.
L-U-C-H-A.
Yeah, lucha libre. So I did find the correct term, which I think is even cooler to say than Mexican wrestling. So if you're dropping lucha libre, I feel like you're in on the Mexican wrestling community.
Yeah.
But yes, I like pointing out my wife's lib ways on Twitter.
Yes, that was pretty funny. All right, last one here. You got 13 likes on this one.
Huge day.
Yeah. What day is today? The 16th?
Yeah. When was this one?
This was the 7th.
Okay.
So you're actually a little behind on this. But this one is close. 7:20 a.m. You tweeted, Bitcoin will hit 22,000 this week, or I delete and post next Monday.
Ooh.
You were close.
I was close.
I mean, it hasn't hit 22,000 yet, but I mean, that's the closest your predictions have been.
Let's see. I'm trying to see where we're at now. Maybe we'll hit 22K. We're at 20,650. Not there yet. I could see 22K. What day is it today? Wednesday? I could see 22K this week for sure.
Yeah.
By Friday or something? Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
I could see that.
Like, at this point, anything is possible.
If we hit... my year-end prediction was 22K. If we hit 22K
If we hit 22K in December, you win. I mean, you got it.
That counts, right?
Dude, hell yeah, for sure. Oof. Like, it's December. It's not like if it was August.
Right, different story.
It'd be a different story. You've got it. It's, okay. I mean, and that is quite an impressive prediction, I will say. So, all right, that is going to do it for us today. You got anything else we need to discuss before we scoot on out of here?
No. Like and subscribe. Give us a review if you're on Apple Podcasts.
Chamber's really working hard to
trying to get some
grow this podcast.
Yeah, I really am.
Really, really working hard. Chamber is.
It's okay. When you have the talent level of Bunshu, you don't have to work that hard, okay? You think LeBron James going every practice? He's not, okay?
Practice? We're talking about practice.
That's right. So,
not a game.
I'm like...
Not a podcast. We're talking about practice.
That's right. So he only comes to the games that matter.
That's right.
I'm doing the hard work. refining my skills, on the practice court. So we want to make sure that if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating. That helps us out. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow, because that helps us out too. We appreciate it. Oh, we're back on YouTube now. There was a couple of you guys I know that were looking for to listen to us on YouTube. So that is back and running. So check out YouTube. It's just the audio. It's not, you don't see our our beautiful faces, but check it out on YouTube.
Sweet. That's it. So make sure Chambers' work is
much like my tweets
is not for naught. Yeah. So all right, that is going to do it for us. And in the words of Gilbert Gottfried, don't get wrecked. And that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.